everybody, welcome to my channel. It's me, Organzan, and I'm so glad you're here. This is my first video in my series of travel through Portugal. We stayed the first few days in an area called Alfama, the Alfama neighborhood. Alfama is one of Lisbon's oldest neighborhoods. I really wanted to stay there. I was very interested in the old parts. The streets are lined with shops and cafes and just have traditional crafts. But in this area, this is the neighborhood we were staying in. You could just see how old the buildings are. This little restaurant here is where we had dinner the night before. Here I am walking to our little alley where our Airbnb was. It's right down this little alley right here. Yeah. Right over here, where my friend Pete is. This is also where you will hear traditional fado music that you hear sang in some of the restaurants. One of the things I really liked about this neighborhood was that on the walls of the buildings, they had pictures of people, residents that had lived in these buildings for a long, long time, and they, honored them by putting their pictures up on the walls, which I thought was so cool, just to see, who lived in these buildings years and years ago, and I just personally love that kind of thing, so. This is a sardine store. Yes, you heard that right. A whole store dedicated to sardines, which is a big product here in Portugal. They had this was like a chain of these cute little stores, but they honored these sardines, and you could get them with your birth date on the can, and they make, great gifts for people. They had the names of some of the towns on the cans and things like that. So it was definitely a really cute novelty store here in Lisbon.
Oh, we're too old. Actually,
I'm selling sardines.
And here's the three that I chose. I bought them for my brother-in-law for his birthday. He loves sardines. So yeah, I got one with his birthday on them, and then just the other two had a cool trendy can, so. Here we are at a rooftop restaurant, and the view is just unbelievable. I'm pointing to where there's a castle, the Castle of San Jorge, and then off right there, just below it, is where we are staying, which is, like I had mentioned before, the Alfama district, and super old area. That's what I wanted to do, is stay in the real old original area, but before it was built up. And super cool, super quaint. But yeah, this is the restaurant we're eating at, which is not super Portuguese. It's called Honest Greens, and oh my goodness, super, super good healthy food. Can't wait to find another one. Now this isn't so healthy. This was a donut shop called Crush, and they had the most delicious looking donuts. I saw one that was creme brulee. I had to have it. Look at this. They just had to heat up the sugar on the tops, and it was just like, you know, the hard crust, just like creme brulee, which I love so much. But yeah, it was so darn good. And it was my birthday. So they brought out my donut, and they put a candle in it, and everyone sang happy birthday to me. So it was.
Happy birthday to you. Obrigado.
Thanks, guys.
This was a beautiful area that we visited called Park Eduardo, and it had the breathtaking views and the manicured lawns. It's a really pretty place to walk around. There was fountains as well. This is a public park, and it is 64 acres, so it's really big and very, very well maintained. We walked around the city, and I felt like everywhere we turned, there was just, you know, a photo op available. It was, it's a lot to take in. So, you know, there's just so many sights and sounds and smells and good food and things like that. But all I could do was just take my camera out and snap away. And I just inserted some random photos here, but yeah, just so much to look at, so much history. I can't even count the number of churches we saw just walking around Lisbon, and beautiful buildings. We also walked over to a large harbor-facing area in Lisbon. This was very beautiful, and there was a lot of people walking around, and a lot of vendors, and people blowing bubbles and playing music and different things like that. We did walk out by the water one day, and they had these rocks all stacked up, and they painted them to look like pretty little ladies sitting out there on the beach. So I thought that was really cool. We walked over to one touristy area called Pink Street, and it's just a little area of restaurants and shops and stuff where the ground is painted pink, and they have some pretty umbrellas floating above. So I'll end this video here. This was the first couple weeks in the Lisbon area, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll end this video with a nice little birthday party that I had in a beautiful restaurant in Lisbon. And anyways, thanks for watching, friends, and I hope you will consider subscribing to follow along on our 5-week journey through Portugal and France, and we will hopefully see you in the next video. Bye for now.